All right, meet me on the mats. Lay down on your back. Maybe you go, if you have a tender back, go down on your side first, and then roll down onto your back. Feet into the ground. And you can play a little with this, but knock your knees together. Maybe you want your knees out wide and your knees together, or your feet out wide, or maybe you want them a little bit closer. This is your own need. One hand on the belly, one on your chest. You can start to close your eyes. Maybe let your gaze settle if closing your eyes isn't right for you right now. And today's focus is all about feeling good. So, start to bring your attention to your body. Notice what areas feel good, what areas feel at ease. Maybe you note why they feel at ease. Maybe what you did for those body parts that make yourself feel at ease. Maybe you're feeling really strong. What makes you feel good right now, right here? And we're going to start to go into the mind. Noticing what thoughts you have that have any inkling of positivity, of feeling good, of feeling peace. That doesn't mean we need to disregard any feelings of unpeace or sorrow or anxiety. Maybe we can just let those thoughts go for right now and focus on what nice things we're feeling. Maybe this brings a little smile to your face. Or maybe it propels more good thoughts, more good feelings. I'm just going to start to get into the breath. So start to breathe deeply into your chest. Feel your chest rise. Breathe deeply into your belly. Hold here. Sip a little bit more air in. And let it all go. 2 more times. Inhale. Chest lifts. Belly lifts. Hold. Sip a little bit more air in. And let it go. Inhale, fill the chest. Fill the belly. Sip a little bit more air in. And let it go. Going straight into our counted breath, we're just going to take notes of how we breathe here. Inhale, filling the chest. Feel your hand on your chest rise. Feel your hand on your belly rise. Exhale, belly deflates towards the spine. Chest deflates towards the spine. Inhale, chest rise. Belly rise. Exhale, chest lower. Belly lower. Find your own rhythm here. We're going to stay here for about 8 breaths, just noticing the rise, the expansion you can feel on your inhales, and the release you can feel on your exhale. Allow yourself to be at ease while you find these breaths. Tilts here. So we're going to find those little bones that jut out in our pelvis and walk those fingers in slightly. You're going to tilt your pelvis forward so that your lower back is going to start to press onto the ground. You might notice some slight engagement in your lower core. Hold one more breath. And start to release, slowly returning to neutral spine. So not over tilting the other way, but just keeping it neutral. 2 more times. We're going to just start to tilt that pelvis forward. Press the lower back into the mat. And maybe you want to feel for that core engagement here. Slowly start to release back to neutral spine. And one more time, find that tilt that pelvis forward, lower back into the mat. And slowly find that release. Knees are where they are, or feet are where they are. Arms come out to a T or cactus, and start to knock the knees from side to side. Finding a little bit of movements into that lower back after having found a little bit of engagements there in the pelvic floor, in the lower abdomen. And when you're ready, let your legs fall over to the right. Doesn't matter where they are. Maybe you bring your gaze over your left shoulder, finding a gentle supine twist. And just allow gravity to do its thing. Maybe you feel a gentle, gentle, gentle pull as your left leg starts to feel pulled down to the ground. One more full breath here. And start to find your way over to the other side. Knees knocked over to the left-hand side. If it feels good, bring your gaze over your right-hand shoulder. And allow gravity to do its thing once more. Find a little bit of release in the legs. Allow them to fall naturally. And what feels good in this position for you? Can you allow yourself to relax a little bit more? Slowly draw your legs back to center. We're going to do something called the fascia dance, waking up the fascia. What we're going to do is start to wake our body up. Imagine you just woke up from a big, long slumber. So stretch your limbs at all angles as they can. Maybe you find gentle twists. Allow yourself to have a little bit of fun here. And what we're doing here is we're stretching our lines, which are our fascia, connective tissue that reach from our head to our toe. And it should feel good. Imagine a cat that just woke up from a nap doing its feline stretchy thing. And it doesn't matter what you look like because you're at home. So enjoy. Maybe you even get into your toes, into your fingers, into anything that you can stretch. Maybe you're imagining you're doing some slow-mo ninja fighting. All right, one more breath here. Find that movement. And when you're ready, bring your knees into your chest. Hug your knees in, forehead to your knees, a little teeny tiny ball. And start to rock and roll your spine front to back. And we're gonna meet in Malasana pose. So find that momentum, feet wide, and bring your hips down to the ground, long spine. If this is hard for you, I'm gonna angle a little bit so you can see what's going on. Then it's okay. You can find let our spine be long. Let your arms hang, let your shoulders hang. Let your skull be heavy. Rooting down into those legs here. Imagine yourself melting, melting, melting. Few more breaths here. Can you breathe into the space in your back body? Give a little bit more length. Gently rest those hands down towards the ground. Inhale, halfway lift, long spine, crown of head towards the front of your mat. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, roll up as slowly as you can to stand. Arms reach up high. Exhale, cactus arms. Inhale, arms reach high. Exhale, right arm down, left arm reaches over to the right. Inhale, open the chest up, draw your elbow back, cactus arm. Exhale, find that side bend. Slowly find your forward fold as you reach over. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, roll yourself up to stand. Arms reach up high. Exhale, cactus arms. Inhale, arms reach high. Left arm down, right arm reaches over. Inhale, open that arm up, chest opens up to the ceiling. Exhale, reach over to the left as you find your forward fold. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, roll yourself up to stand. Arms reach up high. Right arm down, left arm reaches over. Open your chest up, find that cactus arm. Exhale, arm left. Left arm reaches over. Find your forward fold. Inhale, halfway lifts. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, roll up to stand. Arms reach high. Left arm down, right arm reaches over. Inhale, open that chest up, cactus arm. Exhale, find that forward fold as you reach over to the left. Inhale, halfway lifts. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, roll yourself up to stand. You're going to start to stretch into the fascia of the back body. So this is going to feel a little interesting. Hands are going to reach behind the head. Start to tuck your chin to your chest. Bend into your knees. And start to find your forward fold. Draw your elbows in towards each other. And your elbows are going to start to search for your knees here. We're finding compression in the front side of the body so we can open up the back line of the body. So when you breathe, try to keep that expansion feeling in your inhales and release in your exhales. Can you try to compress a little bit more? Notice what you're feeling in the back body. Maybe you're feeling a stretch along the spine. And if you do have the space, if you tend to be someone who has an awesome spine, maybe you start to straighten your legs, engaging in the front side of the legs so that you can feel a deeper stretch in the back side of the body. We're going to stay here for 3 more full breaths. And gently start to bend back into those legs. Rise yourself as gently, as slowly as you can. Arms reach up high and reach them out to the sides. And we're just going to do a little bit of movement. So reach from side to side. Just getting a little bit movement in the thoracic spine here. All right, let's get back to it. Hands behind the neck. We're going to do this weird forward fold a couple more times. So start to tuck the chin into the chest. Start to bring your elbows towards each other. Bend the knees slightly. And you're going to reach those elbows back towards the knees. If you've got it there, maybe you can start to reach a little higher than the knees. Staying here for 8 breaths. Allow yourself to relish in what feels good here. It does feel interesting. You might feel like there's a little bit of tugging happening in the back side of the body. Know that you're just waking up your fascia, the back line of your fascia, from perhaps your toes all the way up to your neck. And notice what's happening in your body, what you're feeling. Maybe you start to engage the fronts of your legs so that you can feel a deeper stretch into the back line of your legs. Keep that compression in your body. Keep the full breath if you can. Finding deep breaths. Few more breaths here. What can you do to slow your breath down? Slowly start to bend into your knees. Roll yourself up as gently as you can. Arms reach up tall. Hands reach out long. Start to find that side to side reach. And bring your hands up to the sky, hands behind the neck. One last time, bend a little bit into the knees. Find your forward fold. Tuck your chin into your chest. Elbows in, reach a little bit higher than the knees this time. And breathe into that back body. Find space. Imagine you're making space throughout the entire back. You're finding A couple more inches here somehow. Halfway there. What interesting sensations can you feel here? Has it moved? Have you Do you feel a little bit more ease this time than the first time we've done this? Slowly bend into the knees. Start to roll yourself up as slowly as you can. Arms reach up tall. Exhale, find your back bend, cactus arms. Draw those elbows down towards your hips. And forward fold. Plant your hands. Step back to your downward dog. Find your knees bent here. Find length into the spine. Crown of head draws towards your hands. And your sit bones are going to draw away from your body. Find a little bit engagement into your shoulders here. And start to straighten your right leg completely, keeping that left leg bent. Draw your right heel down towards the mat. Sit bones are still reaching high. And start to switch legs, bend deeply into the right, left leg straightens, heel down to the earth. Find that length in that back leg. Can you just enjoy the juicy, juicy stretch? Slowly switch to the other side. And over to the left. Start to bring yourself to center. Maybe those legs are still slightly bent. Maybe you try to straighten them slightly. Inhale, left leg high. Exhale, step left leg outside of right hand. Keeping it active here first, start to find a wiggle front to back. If you need your bolster or your Tupperware prop, I find this to be quite useful, or even a folded pillow, whatever you need. And start to send that back knee down. Draw yourself back to half splits. Inhale, halfway lift. Find that flat back. Hug that left heel into the hip socket. Exhale, fold forward. It might not be very much. But first, find that sensation of that stretch. Inhale, exhale, fold forward. One more time. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, fold forward. Maybe hands meet the mat or your pillow, whatever prop you need. Start to bend into that front leg. Walk those hands forward. Lift up that back knee. We're going to do some active skandasana. So just walk your hands from side to side. Maybe your skandasana is very small. Maybe you have more movement for a deeper stretch. Find whatever movement feels good to you. This is all about feeling good, guys. When you're ready, we're going to walk ourselves to the front. Shift that left foot to the middle of the mat. Back, knee down, arms reach up high. Find those cactus arms. Draw those elbows out wide. And start to round your arms forward, backs of hands towards each other. Inhale, arms reach high. Exhale, cactus arms, elbows out wide, down towards your hips. Find your round, backs of hands towards each other. One more time, arms reach up high. Cactus arms, open up. And round down, hands towards each other. Inhale, arms reach up high. Hands down to the ground. Step back to plank. Knees down. Lower down to the ground. Hands outside of the mat. Inhale, roll up. Exhale, right shoulder down. Inhale, up. Exhale, left shoulder. Inhale, up. Exhale, right. Inhale to the left. Inhale to center. Exhale, roll it down. Hands outside of chest. Make your way to downward dog. Inhale, right leg high. Exhale, step outside of the right hands. Find your shifts from side to side or front to back. Maybe you find little circles here. Find the movement that feels good to you. Allow yourself to feel into your body, whatever it needs. Start to send that back knee down. Drive yourself back, straighten that front leg. Maybe you find your prop. Inhale, halfway lifts. Hug that right heel into the hip socket. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lifts. Exhale, forward fold. One more time. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, forward fold. Start to bend into that front leg. Maybe you press that prop away. And find your Skandasana pose. Start to shift to the back of the mat and to the front. Find whatever feels good. Maybe you stay on your feet and just keep a little wiggle from side to side. This is how we like to dance. And when you're ready, meet me into the front of the mat. Shift that right foot to center, back knee down. Arms reach up high. Exhale, open your arms. Slowly draw your elbows down towards your hips. Round your back of hands towards each other. Inhale, arms reach high. Exhale, open up, elbows down. Round down, backs of hands towards each other. One more time, arms reach up high. Open up. And round down. Hands reach up high. And bring them down to the ground. Step back to plank. Knees down. Lower down to the ground. Hands outside of the mat. Inhale, roll up. Exhale, left shoulder down. Inhale, up. Exhale, right shoulder. Inhale, left. Inhale, right. Inhale to center. Exhale, roll yourself down. Hands outside of the chest. Make your way to downward dog. Inhale, left leg high. Exhale, step outside of left hand. Rock front to back. Still keeping this one active here. Can you bring your hips a little heavier in this movement? Maybe you feel a deeper stretch into the front of your right leg here. Start to send that back knee down. Bring your prop with you. Draw yourself back, straighten that front leg. Inhale, halfway lift. Hug that left heel into the hip socket. Exhale, forward fold. Hold here, one full breath. And start to allow your body to round down. And maybe your arms grow heavy, your shoulders grow heavy. If you need to, find that prop, find that blanket, find what you need to allow yourself to relax here. And have that focus on the back side of your left leg. If you need the focus to be on the back side of your left leg, keep that left foot flexed here. And maybe if you want stretch into that shin or the front of your foot, front of your ankle, you can point your toes. It's quite a different stretch. Maybe you allow yourself to play here. One more breath. And start to slowly rise. Press yourself up. And we're going to hop our left foot over towards the other side of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift, find that flat back, hug that heel into your hip socket. So you're going to keep those hips square with the front of your mat. And then start to hinge at the hips, forward folds. It might be a small movement. I'm barely moving here. So you should feel it into the side of your left leg, outside. And if you have the ability to, maybe you start to round your back. Let your neck, let your head go here. Let your shoulders go. And stay here for 3 more breaths. Start to bring your hands down to the ground. Press yourself up. Hop that foot to the middle of the mat. Bend into that knee. Draw yourself forward, arms reach up high. Just one slow motion shoulder opening here. Draw your elbows out. Slowly, slowly, slowly. Find that back bend. Chest lifts towards the ceiling. Elbows towards the hips. And slowly, slowly find your back. Rounding down, backs of hands reaching towards each other. Breathing into that back body. Chin to chest. Hands down to the ground. Step back. Bring yourself down all the way. First off, we're going to bring our hands out to a T. In my case, since I'm against the wall, I'm bringing it to a cactus, but we're going to open our pectoral muscles. So focusing on the left side, use your right hand, prop it up outside of your chest, and start to open yourself up towards the right. If you have space, you can start to prop your right leg behind your left toes. Prop. If you have even more space, you can prop your left leg up too to bridge pose. If you have even more space, you can reach your right hand behind and either find a half bind, just tucking it behind your waist, or you can reach it to hold your own hand. We'll start to bring your exhales a little bit longer here. We'll stay here for 3 more breaths. And slowly starting to get out of this pose. If your right hand was in a bind, start to bring it back outside of your chest. If your left leg was propped up, start to straighten out. And start to bring yourself back gently to the floor. Hands outside of the mat. Inhale, roll up. We're just going to find some shoulder rolls, alternating those shoulders, rolling back. And slowly roll yourself down. Hands outside of the chest to make your way up to downward dog. Inhale, right leg high. Exhale, step it outside of right hand. Again, finding that active movement here, just rocking side to side, maybe front to back, maybe little circles. Can you allow your hips to be a little heavier? Feeling that stretch into the front of the left leg. Start to send that back knee down. Draw yourself back, straighten that front leg. Hug that heel into the hip. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Maybe you find your prop. Allow yourself to find that flat back first and then round down. If you're needing a little bit more reprieve from the front side of your leg, maybe you point those toes, finding a stretch into the ankle and the top of your foot, into your shin. Start to press your arms into your prop or the mat. Find yourself lifts. And then we're going to hop, bend slightly into that right leg. Hop it over to the other side. Square those hips out. All right. Find that half lift, flat back. Hug that heel into your hip socket. Oh, yeah. And find your forward fold, hinging at the hips. It's definitely helpful to have a prop. I'm into it. All right. Well, let's have that. That was very graceful. Okay. If you can, if you feel good about it, start to round that back down. Letting your head, neck, whatever you need to be heavy, let it be heavy. Last breath here. And start to press yourself up using your arms. Bend gently into that front leg. Hop it to the middle of your mats. Find that Anjaneyasana. One slow-mo arm, shoulder opening here. Arms reach up high. Slowly find your back bend, chest lifting towards the ceiling, elbows out wide. Maybe those elbows reach behind you, down towards your hips. Round down, backs of hands towards each other. Find that compression in the front body, back body opening up. Hands reach down to the ground. Step back to plank, knees down, lower down, all the way. Hands out to a T in line with your shoulders. And start to bring that left hand outside of your left shoulder. Open yourself up to the left side. If you can, you'll start to draw your left foot down onto the ground like bridge pose. If you have more opening, you can start to draw your right foot down into bridge pose. If you have even more opening, you can start to find a half bind here by reaching that left hand behind your back. Or you can start to reach it for your own hands and hold your hands. Aww. Starting to breathe some life into that chest. Find expansion here. And find a long, slow release in your exhale. And slowly start to return that left hand back to its original position. If that left leg was propped up, that's the right leg. If the right leg was propped up, start to straighten it out. And slowly make your way back to center. Hands draw outside of the mat. Inhale, roll yourself up. Find those shoulder rolls. Maybe you go the opposite direction, like some kind of funky monster. Then slowly roll yourself down to the ground. Draw yourself up to seated. Okay, we're gonna keep our like a bolstery, sturdy prop near us, and our blanket as well. Starting out with a side stretch. So first we'll start off with our left foot into our right thigh. And I'm gonna bring my Tupperware with me. Also, it smells like chai spices, so that's very nice and warming. You can also fold your pillow up here, but I'm gonna start to find this prop. If you have more flexibility, you can find your thigh. I'm just gonna prop my head up with my hands. On second thought, I'm gonna add to this because I'm a little tight. So we'll just start here. Then we're gonna start to reach our left arm up over towards our right foot. Maybe we start to peel that shoulder up in towards the ceiling slightly. And we're gonna bend at the elbow and reach behind the skull overhead and give our skull a little hold, a little hand hug. Allow yourself to adjust so that you're comfortable, that gravity is just doing its thing. You're not using any effort in your upper body here. Maybe you allow your jaw to loosen up, wiggle it from side to side, up and down. Maybe you waggle your tongue around, let it loosen it up. And just allow yourself to find some space in between your molars. Maybe you can remind yourself what feels good about this current pose right now. Allow your hips to be heavy here. Maybe your gaze starts to be a little bit heavier. A few more breaths, finding length in that exhale. Start to release that left hand from behind your skull. Open that arm up, reach it behind your pelvis. And you're gonna reach your hips up, find a little wild thing. Just stretch into the front side of the body. It doesn't matter how active you are here. Imagine yourself being held up by a pile of pillows and you're just laying across them, stretching into the front of your neck, the front of your legs, the front of your chest, belly. And slowly bring yourself back down to the ground. Lean over to the right of your hands into the lower rib cage. And you're going to chicken wing. So you're going to start to draw that elbow in front of your knee. Start to lean yourself back up. So your knee is going to press into that elbow. What you're going to feel is some opening up in the back of your shoulder here. You can allow yourself to play with what you can handle. Since the theme of today is to feel good, I suggest you feel good. Allow your shoulder to relax. And try to find an ease in this position. One more breath. And slowly start to lean yourself back over to the right. Open that shoulder up. And maybe we're just going to find some big ol' hellos. Hello. I'm just going to wave to you in the biggest way I can because you're all the way over there. Ah. Lean yourself back. Draw your right foot in and windshield wiper your legs from side to side. And going on to the left side, left leg extends, right foot inside your left thigh. Draw yourself up to seated. Maybe you find your little structure here. I'm gonna find my head, leaning on my left hand, finding my props, my leg, whatever feels good to me. I'm starting to reach my right hand up and over towards that left foot. Starting to roll my shoulder up gently away from my chest, opening up towards the ceiling. Maybe the sit bone is drawing down into the ground, finding a little bit of stretch in the lower back. Start to bend your elbow and hug the back of your head ever so gently. Allow yourself to adjust as you need to find that ease in this pose so that you can just stack. Allow your head to lay gently onto your hands and your right arm to lay gently onto your head. Finding that breath, drawing it out. Maybe you notice a difference from each side. Trying to find similar sensations. Maybe really enjoying it. Feeling that opening in the body. Imagine yourself growing taller with each inhale. Finding release. Letting go with your exhale. A few more breaths. Find some release in between your brow here. Maybe as if you just heard something that makes you happy. How your brow can gently slide to either side of your face, finding a big ease and maybe some light warmth in between your brows. Starting to wake up that right arm, reach it up and over. Find yourself propping up behind your hips. Reach yourself up. Imagine you just fell over a big pile of pillows. Stretch the body. Opening up the whole front side. From the top of your head all the way down to your toes. One more breath. And slowly find your way down to the ground. Prop your right foot up and start to Lean over to the left, back of hands to the inside of your lower ribs. Draw that chicken wing forward and start to bring that right knee in towards that that arm. Find that position that feels good to you. You might notice a big difference between one side and the other. It might be the difference of what your dominant side feels like versus your non-dominant side. Whatever you do, breathe some ease. Find that long exhale. And slowly start to lean over to the left. Release your right hand as gently as you can. Give me a big wave. Hello. Hello. Ah, hello over there. Nice to see you. It's been grand. Bring your hand down behind you. Feet down to the ground. One last windshield wiper, side to side. And bring yourself in line with the long side of the mat. You're going to find your blankie and roll it up. You know what? Some options. We're just going to go straight into final Savasana. We have a couple minutes to go in there. Option is to have this along your spine or under your hips. So your the top of your butt crack, just for a little bit of elevation in Savasana. So find what feels good to you. I tend to like the chest opening because of life. So hands out to the side, feet out long. Take a deep inhale. Open mouth, let it go. One more time, inhale. Open mouth, let it go. Start to let yourself find ease in your mind. Find ease in your muscles, your shoulders, your hips, your feet, your hands, your face, your belly. And for this moment, be here. I'm going to end this practice in Savasana. Bring my hands to heart center in gratitude for sharing this practice with you today. Sending as many well wishes as I can to all of you as we are all connected. Thank you and namaste.